The Holocaust, a name etched in history, a wound on the face of humanity that still bleeds. These words echo the weight of a time when the world witnessed the depths to which human cruelty could descend. The Holocaust, taking place during the tumultuous years of World War II from 1941 to 1945, marked one of the darkest chapters in human history. This era saw the systematic genocide of 6 million Jews, a number so staggering that it's difficult to fully comprehend. But the Holocaust was not just about the Jewish people. The Nazis, driven by their twisted ideologies, did not stop there. Millions more were persecuted and killed, including Romani people, Poles, Soviet prisoners of war, disabled individuals, and others deemed undesirable by the Nazi regime. The engine behind these atrocities was a malicious ideology that thrived on hatred, xenophobia, and the false notion of racial superiority. The Nazis, under Adolf Hitler's leadership, propagated these ideas, using them as a tool to justify the mass extermination of entire communities. They sought to cleanse the world of diversity, to mute the vibrant symphony of human existence into a single, monotonous note. But as we delve into the chilling details of the Holocaust, we must remember that these were not just numbers, not just faceless statistics. Behind each figure, there was a human life, a world unto itself, brutally extinguished. Each number represents a person who had dreams, hopes, and a life that was unjustly and prematurely ended. The Holocaust was a time when humanity was tested to its limits, a time when the world was plunged into an abyss of darkness and despair. Yet, it is essential to remember this period not to dwell in the past but to ensure that such a tragedy is never repeated. As we delve into these horrifying facts, we remember that behind each statistic there was a human life, brutally extinguished. As we step into the next segment, we will bring some of these lives into focus, sharing personal narratives that put a face to the numbers and make the weight of the Holocaust all the more real. Behind the staggering statistics of the Holocaust are individual stories, each a testament to the human cost of hatred. Let's take a moment to delve into these narratives. Picture a young woman from Krakow, Poland, torn from her home and thrust into the unforgiving conditions of Auschwitz. Imagine a Romani musician who used his craft to bring a glimmer of hope amidst the despair of the concentration camps. Ponder on the life of a disabled child from Berlin, viewed as undesirable by the regime, his potential snuffed out in the name of eugenics. Visualize a Soviet POW, struggling to retain his humanity in the face of unimaginable cruelty. These accounts, as diverse as the victims themselves, paint a collective portrait of shared suffering, resilience, and indomitable spirit in the face of adversity. Each story is a haunting echo from the past, a call to remember and act. As we remember the victims, it is crucial to reflect on the lessons the Holocaust imparts. In the face of such an immense tragedy, we're driven to ask ourselves, how do we prevent history from repeating itself? The answer lies in education and tolerance. By immersing ourselves in the historical context, we can understand the mechanisms that led to the Holocaust, recognizing the danger signs of prejudice, discrimination, and dehumanization. But understanding isn't enough. We must foster a culture of tolerance, embracing diversity rather than fearing it. We need to challenge stereotypes and prejudices, replacing them with empathy and understanding. This is how we prevent genocide. It's how we create a world where everyone is valued for who they are, not persecuted for what they're perceived to be. Education and tolerance aren't just lessons from the Holocaust, there are weapons against hatred. We must continue to carry these lessons forward, using our knowledge as a tool against hatred. While the Holocaust represents an unparalleled tragedy, it also showcases the incredible resilience of the human spirit. In the midst of such profound darkness, stories of survival, resistance, and acts of courage emerged, shedding light on the indomitable will of those who faced unimaginable horrors. Consider the Warsaw Ghetto Uprising, where a small group of Jewish fighters held off the might of the Nazi forces for nearly a month, symbolizing resistance against oppression. Or the tale of Janusz Korczak, who chose to accompany the children of his orphanage to the Treblinka extermination camp, rather than abandon them. There were countless others who, despite the dire circumstances, found ways to resist, survive, and maintain their humanity. These individuals risked everything, demonstrating the power of resilience, courage, and the enduring human spirit. These stories of bravery and resilience remind us of the power of the human spirit, even in the face of unimaginable adversity. World Holocaust Victims Remembrance Day is observed globally. with people from all walks of life coming together to pay tribute to the victims. This day of commemoration brings together the world community in a shared act of remembrance. From the solemn ceremonies held at Auschwitz in Poland, where millions were systematically exterminated, to the poignant memorials in Israel, where the siren's wail brings the nation to a standstill, the world remembers. Across the Atlantic, the United States marks the day with educational programs, candlelight vigils, and survivor testimonies, while in Germany, people bear witness to the nation's dark past through silent marches and memorial services. Down south, Argentina, with the largest Jewish community in Latin America, commemorates the day with public readings of victims' names and stories. In every corner of the world we find a unified voice, a shared commitment to remembering the victims and preventing such a tragedy from happening again. While we strive to remember the Holocaust, we also face challenges such as Holocaust denial and distortion. This is a disturbing trend that seeks to rewrite history, to minimize the atrocities committed, or even deny they happened at all. Such denial and distortion are not just an affront to the memory of the victims, but a dangerous tool that fuels the fires of hatred, anti-Semitism, and other forms of discrimination. Preserving historical accuracy is paramount. It is our collective responsibility to remember the past honestly and objectively, to learn from it, and to ensure that such atrocities never occur again. Addressing this issue requires a multifaceted approach: robust education, open dialogue, and stringent legislation against hate speech and denialism. As we continue to navigate the complexities of our world, we must stand firm in our commitment to truth, ensuring that the voices silenced by the Holocaust are not silenced once again.